I'm Scott Wilson. I had refractive lens surgery at the Edinburgh Clinic. I've worn glasses since my late 20s because I've always been short-sighted and therefore needed them for activities such as football and golf. And I play a lot of golf, so it was, a bit of a drag, but it was one of these things. I did experiment with contact lenses for some time as well, but found out ultimately that glasses were the best thing for it. I met with the consultant, with the surgeon who outlined the process. I am not a fan of hospitals at all, but it doesn't feel like you're in a hospital or a surgical facility when you go in. Everything's really calm and I was completely relaxed about it. Naturally, you're a bit anxious and a bit nervous because it's your eyesight and you only get one pair of eyes, so you need to make sure you look after them. And once I had heard what Dr. Tint said, I was thoroughly reassured. It was great. I spoke to the optometrist as well, who went through any other questions that I had, and I came away from there really, really reassured. So when I went back for my first surgery, I knew exactly what was going to happen, so there was nothing hidden there. One thing that did surprise me was just how relaxed everything was. And I was delighted that I didn't have to have an anaesthetic. I got drops in my eyes, which made my pupils dilate dramatically, and it numbed the eye. So when I actually had the procedure, it was probably the most relaxing 20 minutes I've experienced this year. I think the fact that the Edinburgh Clinic have a small team, so you feel very much like an individual. You're referred to initially by your surname, but thereafter by your Christian name. And everything's just really, really relaxed. They look after you. They're constantly attentive without being intrusive, making sure that you're relaxed enough, that you have drinks, that if you want food, that's absolutely fine. I couldn't speak highly enough of them. The whole environment was relaxed. There were a number of people in, I guess it's a pre-op room, and different people going in for different procedures, and yet everybody was in there and it was really, really relaxed. I didn't feel an atmosphere of angst or nerves or anything at all. Immediately after the procedure, you come out to the same room that you were in, you get another cup of tea, and the nurse then brings through the drops and explains the process, how you have to take this set of drops every day for 7 days, 4 times a day. It has to be kept in the fridge, and these other ones 4 times a day but not in the fridge, and dead straightforward. My wife came up at that point, and so she was able to hear all of that too, and so she was involved in the process as well. So it wasn't just me. I had my funky eye patch on, took some pictures for social media because I was quite proud of what I'd had done, and then headed home. And the only downside, if indeed you could call it a downside, but the surgeon did warn me off it, that your eye could feel dry on that evening, and indeed it did. It felt like there was something in it, a grit or something. However, went to bed, got up in the morning, bathed the eye, put the drops in, absolutely fantastic, and no problem thereafter. I then had a call on the following day from a nurse, 2 calls from the nurse, and then the day after that from the surgeon himself, who left his number and said, if you have any problems whatsoever, just call. So the personal service was absolutely second to none, and not what I expected at all. And I don't mean that in a derogatory manner. I just felt that they were going the extra mile, but it transpires that's just what they do. Initially, the day after, or 2 days after, it's probably fair to say, because your pupil still dilated the next day. So 2 days after it, the world is just very, very bright. And initially for, I think, 48 hours thereafter, it's maybe a fine mist, but that clears shortly thereafter, and then boom, the world's very much in focus. Now, it's a bit strange initially because you get one eye done and the second one done 2 weeks later, and so I wore a contact lens in my left eye for the 2 weeks, and so I was used to what I was seeing out there but not used to what I was seeing out of my right eye, and I had to wear shades indoor, which was like so being like a diva, but it was necessary because everything was so bright. But that settles down shortly thereafter. Then when I got the second eye done, more or less it was the same. The pupil was dilated for about 24 hours. I actually went to a comedy show on the night after, and about halfway through the show, suddenly the whole world just came into focus, and it was amazing. And then getting up the next day, and from then on, it's just been absolutely incredible. I'm seeing stuff that I don't want to sound overly dramatic, that I haven't seen for years. Generally, particularly playing golf, and as you know, it's Scotland, so it's either raining or it's about to rain. Playing golf in the rain with glasses is an absolute nightmare, and so I've got full vision, and now I can stand anywhere, you know, particularly on a tee, and see just how far out of bounds my ball's going, and it's magnificent. Driving is another revelation, because previously I wore varifocals, so if I wanted to look at my dash, I had to make sure my head was tilted back so that I was looking through the bottom part of the glasses, and then tilt it forward so that I could see distance. And now I can drive just normally, like normal people do, look down, everything's in focus, look up, everything's in focus. So that's been a revelation. Already a number of friends have asked me if I would recommend it, and I would. Without a shadow of a doubt. I would say go first of all and get your free consultation. Make sure it's suitable for you, because it's not suitable for absolutely everybody. Have your free consultation. You've nothing to lose except your glasses, and they also have the best coffee machine ever.